What's up, y'all? It's Awesome Movie Guy, and I'm back with another movie review. Today I want to review a movie I saw recently. It is called Headcount, made in, I think, 2018 to 2019. It is on the horror supernatural type side. I really like this movie. It was a original idea, which I love. If you don't know, but if you do know, obviously you do. And I enjoyed it, but it did disappoint me, and I'll let you know why in this review. So for those who have forgotten, this is how it works. First, I give you a synopsis of the movie, then I give you a spoiler-free review of the movie, and finally, I give you my honest rating and my honest recommendation. So let's jump in. The synopsis for Headcount reads: a group of college students on a weekend getaway accidentally summon a supernatural entity intent on using them for its deadly ritual. Okay, so that literally sums it up. They accidentally summon up some type of supernatural entity. What I liked about this, it wasn't the typical, ghost or old lady or some BS like that, or haunted doll. It was something like we've never seen before. Okay, so I don't want to spoil it, but I love that aspect of it. It was an original idea, and I love that. So that already made me love this movie right from the jump. Now, warning to everybody, it is a slow burner. The movie starts off very, very slow. That is kind of a negative for it. On the other hand, though, there's a reason why it does. It kind of builds and builds and builds. So I did like that aspect of it, that it kind of had a purpose. A key thing about this movie is that you need to pay attention. Why you need to pay attention is because you'll miss the little details that kind of all make sense and bring everything together later in the movie. So you got to make sure you're watching, and I like that aspect of it, that you actually have to pay attention to really understand. Cause some movies you can just skim it and be like, oh yeah, this happened. But this one, if you're not watching, then you're not really going to understand what the characters are going through and try to figure out, okay, what is actually happening. So I did like that aspect of it. Now, the ending, disappointing. I didn't really like it. Didn't really answer any questions. Kind of just went nowhere. Left just everything open. It was just abrupt. Like, I didn't like that. Key thing I didn't like about this movie, literally all the deaths were off screen. Like, what's the point of that? I want to see the people die. I want to see how they die. I want to see it on screen. I don't want to see it off screen. So that made it worse for me. Another thing I didn't like about this movie was there was no real character development. We didn't really care for the characters all that much. There was no connection to them. So when they started dying, it was just okay. But other than that, I did like the visuals of the movie. Decent soundtrack and stuff like that. So it's not bad in that aspect, but it could have been a lot better. Now, IMDb gave this movie a 5.3. In my opinion, I'm gonna give this movie. I can give it a 5.3. I could give it as high as a 6, but I'm gonna give it a 5.5. I'm gonna give it a 5.5 because it has an original idea. For one, that already gives it a good rating in my books. In terms of the acting, which I forgot to mention, the acting's pretty good. Not a huge well-known cast or anything like that, but they did a very good job in their characters. It is visually appealing, so I do like that as well. So those are three great things about it. Why I will give it higher than its IMDb rating of 5.3, and I'll give this movie 5.5. Why can't I give it any higher than that? Which you could see go to a 6 because of its original idea and everything like that. But why I'm going to leave it at 5.5 is because it just didn't really capitalize on anything that it had developed. It had a great idea that kept us guessing, made us wonder what the hell's actually going on. We were intrigued. We wanted to see, okay, how's this happening to the characters? And then they just throw that all away. They didn't really take to the heights it could have reached. They just kind of let it go. As I said, no character development, and all the deaths were off screen, so it's just okay, whatever. I don't get to see anything. And then finally, the ending was just mediocre in my opinion. It was just bad. I don't like it. So that's why a lot of people will probably hate this movie, because it's a slow burner, and then nothing really gets shown to them. And if you're not paying attention, you'll miss the little things that kind of make you be like, oh, that was kind of dope. So that's why this movie can be a hit or miss for a lot of people. In my opinion, it's worth a 5.5. In terms of recommendation, I don't know if this is a movie that I would be like, oh my god, go watch. I think it is unique in its sense. I think some people will appreciate this, some people won't. So I think if you're a real big horror fan, you want to see something kind of new, or supernatural thrill type, whatever, go watch this movie and really pay attention to it. But if you're not really like gung ho or whatever about these type of movies, skip this, go watch something else and enjoy something else. So yeah, proceed with caution to watch head count. That's it for this video. I'm the Honest Movie Guy. Make sure to like and subscribe below. And tune in to more videos.